Grammar translation method in English methodology or English language teaching ELT. Now let us practice the most important MCQs with answers in examination point of view. Let's get started. The first question is, what is the primary goal of the grammar translation method? Grammar translation method is also known as GTM in short form. The question is, what is the primary goal of the grammar translation method? A. Fluency in speaking. B. Understanding culture. C. Reading and translating literature. D. Communicative competence. The primary goal of the grammar translation method is reading and translating literature. The right answer is C. Reading and translating literature. Next, grammar translation method focuses mainly on A. Listening and speaking skills. B. Reading and writing skills. C. Pronunciation. D. Body language. The right answer is B. Reading and writing skills. Grammar translation method mainly focuses on reading and writing skills. Unfortunately, it neglects listening and speaking skills. Next, the grammar translation method emphasizes A. Grammar rules and vocabulary. B. Language in use. C. Interaction. D. Games and role play. The right answer is A. Grammar rules and vocabulary. The grammar translation method emphasizes grammar rules and vocabulary. Next, which of the following is not a characteristic of GTM, grammar translation method? Which of the following is not a characteristic? Understand the question? Which of the following is not a characteristic of grammar translation method? A. Memorization of vocabulary. B. Use of real life communication. C. Translation exercises. D. Focus on grammatical accuracy. The right answer is B. Use of real life communication. It is not a characteristic of grammar translation method. Next, which languages were commonly taught using grammar translation method historically? A. English and French. B. Latin and Greek. C. Spanish and Portuguese. D. Chinese and Arabic. Which languages were commonly taught using grammar translation method historically? The right answer is B. Latin and Greek. Next, what is the role of the teacher in grammar translation method? What is the role of the teacher in grammar translation method? A. Authority and knowledge provider. B. Facilitator of communication. C. Observer. D. Peer learner. The right answer is A. Authority and knowledge provider. In grammar translation method, the role of the teacher is he is the authority and knowledge provider. Next, grammar translation method originated in which century? A. 19th century. B. 21st century, C. 18th century, D. 20th century. The right answer is 18th century. Next, in grammar translation method, how is vocabulary usually taught? A. Through pictures, B. By direct translation, C. By synonyms, D. By gestures. The right answer is by direct translation, which is why it is known as grammar translation method. Next, which of the following activities is commonly in grammar translation method classes, GTM classes? A. Debates, B. Listening tasks, C. Translation of text, D. Group discussions. Which of the following activities is common in grammar translation method classes? The right answer is translation of text. Next, grammar translation method mostly ignores A. Speaking on listening skills, B. Grammar rules, C. Translation, D. Reading and writing. The right answer is speaking and listening skills. Unfortunately, grammar translation method mostly ignores these two skills, speaking and listening skills. It focuses mainly on reading and writing skills. Next, which is a typical classroom material in grammar translation method? Which is a typical classroom material in grammar translation method? A. Podcasts, B. Interactive software, C. Literary text, D. Video clips. The right answer is literary text. Next, which of the following is most emphasized in grammar translation method? Which of the following is most emphasized in grammar translation method, GTM? A. Oral communication, B. Written language, C. Pronunciation, D. Listening. The right answer is B. Written language. It emphasizes written language. Next, what kind of drills are common in grammar translation method? What kind of drills are common in grammar translation method, GTM? A. Substitution drills, B. Translation drills, C. Role play drills, D. Listening drills. The right answer is B. Translation drills. Translation drills are common in grammar translation method. Next, grammar in GTM is taught. Grammar in grammar translation method is taught in which way? How? Just think here. A. Inductively, B. Deductively, C. Through games, D. Through real life usage. The right answer is deductively. Grammar is taught deductively in grammar translation method. Next, which skill is developed at the least in grammar translation method? Which skill is developed the least in grammar translation method? A. Reading, B. Speaking, C. Writing, D. Vocabulary. You have to understand the question that which skill is developed the least? It means very less. Which skill It is speaking. The right answer is speaking. Speaking skill is developed the very least in grammar translation method. Reading and writing skills are emphasized here. Next, grammar translation method is often criticized for. It is often criticized for A. Lack of communication focus. B. Overuse of technology. C. Being too modern. D. Ignoring reading. The right answer is lack of communication focus. Grammar translation method is often criticized for lack of communication focus. Unfortunately, it doesn't focus on communication focus, which is why it is criticized lack of communication focus. It is criticized for lack of communication focus. Next, the method relies heavily on the use of A. Language labs. B. The learner's mother tongue. C. Realia. D. Songs. The right answer is B. The learner's mother tongue. The grammar translation method relies heavily on the use of the learner's mother tongue. Next, the origin of GTM, that is grammar translation method, is closely related to A. Audio lingualism. B. Classical education. C. Task-based learning. D. Natural approach. The right answer is classical education. Grammar translation method is closely related to classical education. Next, which language skill is best developed by GTM, grammar translation method? The right answer is reading. Reading is best developed by grammar translation method and it neglects speaking. Next, what type of translation is used in grammar translation method, GTM? What type of translation? A. Free translation. B. Word for word translation. C. Simultaneous interpretation. D. Oral translation. The right answer is word for word translation. What type of translation it is? It is used in grammar translation method. The answer is word for word translation. Next, what is often emphasized in grammar translation method tests? Tests, that is tests. What is often emphasized in grammar translation method tests? That is GTM tests. A. Oral fluency. B. Grammar knowledge. C. Comprehension of spoken dialogue. D. Accent and pronunciation. The right answer is grammar knowledge. It tests grammar knowledge. Next, grammar rules in grammar translation method are typically explained explicitly, discovered by learners, ignored, taught through conversations. The right answer is A. Explained explicitly. Grammar rules are explained explicitly in grammar translation method. Next, grammar translation method often requires students to A. Watch movies. B. Speak in pairs. C. Translate sentences or texts. D. Perform role plays. The right answer is translate sentences or texts. Next, a typical grammar translation classroom uses which language predominantly? A. Target language. B. Native language. C. sign language, D. Mixed codes. The right answer is native language, that is learner's mother tongue. Okay. Next, what is the main assessment tool in grammar translation method? A. Oral interviews. B. Listening tests. C. Written tests. D. Performing task. Performance task. The right answer is written tests. The main assessment tool in grammar translation method is written tests. Next, grammar translation method aims to help students become proficient in conversational fluency, reading classical texts, everyday speech, native link, native like pronunciation. The right answer is reading classical texts. Grammar translation method aims to help students become proficient in reading classical texts. Next, grammar translation method instruction is mostly A. Interactive, B. Teacher centered, C. Student centered, D. Experimental or experiential. Next, okay, the right answer is teacher centered. Grammar translation method instruction is mostly teacher centered. It is not interactive, it is not student centered, it is not experiential, it is teacher centered. Next, students in grammar translation method are expected to memorize grammar and vocabulary, collaborate on projects, learn through immersion, use authentic materials. The right answer is memorize grammar and vocabulary. Students in grammar translation method are expected to memorize grammar and vocabulary. Next, grammar translation is best suited for learners who aim to travel abroad, study literature and grammar, improve speaking fluency, learn through play. The right answer is study literature and grammar. Grammar translation method is best suited for learners who aim to study literature and grammar. Next, which is a typical disadvantage of grammar translation method? Which is a typical disadvantage of grammar translation method? A. Poor reading comprehension. B. Lack of speaking practice. C. Too much listening focus. D. Ineffective grammar learning. The question is, which is a typical disadvantage of grammar translation method? The right answer is lack of speaking practice. Lack of speaking practice. Thank you so much. I wish you all the very best.